Ken White is a street artist. Art began on walls, but over the centuries has become a private experience to be enjoyed indoors. Ken has reversed the trend. For him, art is big, bold, and on public display.
Well, I painted the Golden Lion Bridge. That was my first mural I painted alone. And it was used in a national advertising campaign. And ever since then, I became a mural painter. First I had to design the job, the mural, then I usually talk to the residents in the area and get their ideas of what they'd like to see, etc. Originally, a design is drawn out, small, say ½ an inch to a foot, on tracing paper, which is then transferred to the wall, like painting by numbers, more or less. You draw out the squares ½ an inch to a foot on the wall. So I draw foot squares on the wall, and then the designs are drawn. You start at the top and work down. I don't like painting on bare brick. They have been done, but usually the bricks show through after a while. You get sort of dirt on the ledges, and I don't know, it just seemed to look bad. It has to be, as smooth as you can get it, real smooth render of cement.
One of Ken White's more popular creations has been the mural at Gilbert's Hill Infant School. Not only is it a magical painting in its own right, but it's become the focus for all sorts of imaginative games. Well, the kids obviously love it, and they've written their own account of how it came about.
Mr. White is good to my school. He is Ace's dad. He painted a mural on the school wall.
Mr. White and St. Joseph's School painted a mural. They worked on it for a week. There are some houses and a church on a hill.
On our mural, there are some girls dancing round and round in a circle. There is a dragon in a cave with a man. And a lampshade with a man on it.
The mural has spaceships and aeroplanes and a jungle and a lighthouse, a starfish and a chest of treasure.
We play pirate at playtime. We guard the treasure. I like playing pirate.
Mr. White painted a big, beautiful painting on the wall outside in the playground. It makes our playground look pretty. I like the Bigfoot best because it is red.
It's not only Swindon that's benefited from Ken's big, bold murals. He's worked all over the country, including Covent Garden, and he's also done work for record companies like Virgin Records.
Well, this mural is a townhouse, which was a private commission again, for Virgin Records. So it took 6 weeks to paint it. But the initial work was done by the builders, I suppose. They did all the rendering and they painted the actual yellow colour as well. So I came along and drew out the windows and the lettering and just painted it, filled it in really. This is how it used to look before. It was an old film studio, Gold Hawk Film Studios. And it goes right through and out the other side, so there were two walls really, front and the back to the whole building. And this is the back of the building with a broken window. It's the Marguerite touch, I guess. I'm keen on him. And it's like a broken mural, which I painted. So, the mural's breaking off and the wall's showing through underneath. This is Smith & Wells's mural, which was commissioned by Smith & Wells to do our iron founders up in Bonnybridge, Scotland. This is how it used to look when it was rendered, etc. That's how I saw it when I first got there. On the front of the building is Smith standing in the doorway with Wells stood on the left, and then George Ure was another founder on the right. They're the bosses sort of looking out, the workers coming into work. Around the corners, I painted myself with my father-in-law, as if we're painting the wall. This is the Thamesdown Voluntary Services mural, which I did with 6 volunteers who I don't think had ever touched a wall in their lives, so it was very difficult to do. These are flying pigs. They used to have a pig farm in Swindon on the initial beginnings of the voluntary services. All these sort of logos all over are just local voluntary services, which I had to try and incorporate in the mural. So I made them. Looks like they're like balloons floating up, which you can buy, balloons with logos on. That was a local umbrella shop, which you never see nowadays, of course, in the town, which was in the high street. I think it's a greengrocer's shop. Also, I added all these enamel signs, which I think give a period look straight away to the job, because you don't see those anymore. And they're not lovely things anyway. But I was using students. I was teaching at the time, so I wasn't a community artist as such. I was an art teacher, I think, as well. And I took the students out and we painted it between us. We were trying to think of a good subject to use for a wall in Swindon, which would be sort of appeal to the local residents, etc. That's Brunel, the bridge designer in the local. It's Desmond Morris, and that's his I'm not sure how many greats, grandfather, William Morris, who started the local newspaper. And that's Gilbert O'Sullivan, who I was at art school with in Swindon for 4 years, and then we both moved to London together and lived up there for about 3 or 4 years as well, with Rick Davis as well from Supertramp. This is XTC. Andy Partridge went to the local art school. That's my connection, how I know them really, I suppose, through that. And the reason the head is torn off like that is because one of the members left the group, so I tore the head off the photograph and stuck the other one on, the new member.